In life, there's a time for everything. A time when we come into the world, and a time when we leave it. For some, it's the loss of grandparents. And for some, it's a brother, a sister, a friend, or a partner. Whoever it is, whenever it is, one thing is for sure. At some point, we have all experienced the sting of death. We usually talk a lot about when someone is born. People have parties to tell if the baby will be a boy or a girl, and then another party to give gifts for the baby. When the baby turns 1 year old, and on every birthday after that, there's another party. We also talk about our own birthday, telling stories we've heard from others, since we can't remember it ourselves. We often discuss birth, but rarely talk about death. Usually we only talk about death when it takes away someone we care about, but it doesn't have to be this way. We're all going to die one day, so maybe we should talk about it more. Death is the end of everything for us. It happens when our body completely stops working, our heart stops, our breath ceases, we lose all brain activity. Their heart is failing, and the body is now experiencing circulation changes. Their heartbeat is becoming fainter, and their skin no longer radiates like the summer sun. Their breathing becomes erratic. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's faint, sometimes it's loud. Chainstroke is happening now. They take several breaths, then a long pause with no breathing at all. And just when we think they're gone, they gasp and take yet another breath. They're not there yet, but they're close. In a few hours, they'll take another long pause, but then there will be no gasp to break the silence. When most people are about to leave us to the other side of life, they claim to feel a sense of readiness, like they're wrapped around Mother Nature's arms, similar to the feeling of a baby in their mother's womb. There's a sense of comfort, a sense of completion, a sense of peace. People are often well aware of what is coming next and can even hold on for something significant to happen before giving up the ghost. You might wait for your mother to come so you can tell her you appreciate everything she did for you as a child. Or perhaps place a call through to a friend to tell them you forgive them for everything they did wrong to you. Or maybe you're waiting to hold your kids in your arms again, or kiss your partner on the cheek one last time. When death comes knocking, we often already know who's at the door. As we exit life's doorway, confusion often sets in, leading us into a final state of unconsciousness, like drawing the curtains on our existence. This is the moment of death. Everything up to this point is known and somewhat understood. However, what follows remains a profound mystery. Death is typically seen as final and irreversible. Once dead, one stays dead. Yet, there are countless accounts of individuals who were medically declared dead but later revived, bringing with them extraordinary tales. These are known as near-death experiences. The intriguing part of these experiences is the belief that if death were truly final, these individuals wouldn't be here to share their stories. But can we be certain of this? The truth might forever elude us. The world of near-death experiences is rich with information. People who were clinically dead for hours, sometimes days, return with vivid accounts of out-of-body experiences and detailed recollections of an afterlife that seem too specific to be fabricated. Many people who have had near-death experiences commonly agree on one thing. The saying, "life flashes before your eyes," is quite accurate. Right before the heart stops, there's often a rapid review of one's entire life. Interestingly, it's not the major life events like weddings, graduations, or the first time hearing your child cry that come to mind. Instead, it's the small, seemingly insignificant moments. Riding a bike as a child, sitting at a desk checking emails, or watching a white cat while climbing stairs. These are the mundane, often forgotten moments of life, which surprisingly emerge in our final moments. The incident of a young man seeing a white cat while climbing stairs during his near-death experience illustrates the peculiar nature of these moments. This vision was notably specific, and for a good reason. He had no recollection of ever being in that stairway or seeing such a cat. Yet, after he was revived, he accurately sketched the staircase and the apartment it led to, and described the cat in detail to his mother. Astonishingly, his mother confirmed they once lived in a similar apartment with that exact staircase and knew someone there with a white cat. The intriguing part. They had moved from that place when he was only 14 months old. This raises profound questions about memory and its persistence. Do we retain every memory, even those long forgotten, somewhere in our minds? Does the approach of death unlock a panoramic view of our entire life, including moments we believed were lost? It also touches on the often feared loneliness associated with death, challenging the notion with these deeply personal and interconnected memories. While we enter this world alone, the question arises, do we also leave it alone? Many people who have undergone near-death experiences report encountering a deceased relative. These relatives either seem to guide them towards the afterlife or inform them that it wasn't their time to pass. This common experience suggests that death may not be as solitary as often perceived. Whether these visions are mere imaginations, offering comfort in the final moments, or actual visitations from the spirits of departed loved ones, remains unclear. Nonetheless, it appears that for many, death does not feel like a lonely journey. Speaking of the soul, this is one concept that science has not been able to figure out yet, or at least have some kind of explanation for. But with the number of near-death experiences associated with an out-of-body experience, it might be time to start rethinking whether it's something that can even be explained by science. There's a story about a college freshman who overdosed on sleeping pills. In the ambulance, their hearts stopped, and they were declared dead for 3 minutes. During this time, they had an out-of-body experience, observing everything from a third-person perspective. They specifically noticed an EMT with distinct minty green hair working to save them. Once the student recovered in the hospital, they inquired about this EMT. Remarkably, the EMT with the green hair did exist, confirming the authenticity of their experience. This raises profound questions about the essence of our being. Are we more than just a collection of atoms and molecules reacting to nature? Do we possess something like a soul? Such stories of near-death experiences, where individuals come back from the brink of permanent death, make us ponder the deeper aspects of life and death. Yet for most, death is the final chapter, leading us to eventually say our final goodbyes. Funerals have played a crucial role in our understanding of human history, largely through the ways we have honored our dead. From elaborate tombs to the ancient practice of mummification, the deceased have often provided more insights into our past than the living. The oldest known deliberate burial site is found in Kafse, Israel. Here, the dead were carefully placed in coffins along with personal items like clothing, small treasures and food, and then these coffins were placed in a cave. Evidence suggests that the living would paint the remains, hold celebrations and feasts to honor the dead, and bury individuals in family groups. This indicates that even 10,000 years ago, people recognized the importance of acknowledging death and celebrating a life that was lived. In modern times, funeral practices vary across cultures, but a common thread is the gathering of people to remember and speak about the deceased's life, focusing on their virtues and the positive impact they had while alive. In many religious practices, prayers are offered over the deceased to ensure a favorable journey in the afterlife. However, beliefs about the afterlife vary widely. In Abrahamic religions, for instance, it's believed that one's actions on earth determine their eternal destiny. In these traditions, families are often consoled with the hope of reuniting with their loved ones in the afterlife. For some other religions like Hindu, what is dead shall be reborn. After the ceremonies and prayers, the bodies are buried or cremated, and the living that are gathered disperse in a bid to heal from the hurt of losing someone. The months that follow. Even when we expect it, death is extremely painful. The concept of losing someone is vastly different from the actual experience of loss and mourning the relationship that once was. Although we understand that loss is a natural part of life, confronting this harsh reality can be overwhelmingly painful. The most daunting aspect of death is its finality, the realization that the moments shared, the experiences had, and the connections made are irretrievably gone. What remains are only memories, echoes of the past that cannot be relived or recreated, and the stark awareness that no new memories can be formed with the departed. This permanence of loss is often the most challenging aspect to accept and cope with in the journey of grief. Often, experiencing the loss of a loved one provides us with a new outlook on life. It underscores the fleeting nature of our existence, inspiring us to embrace and make the most of our time on Earth. This realization encourages us to live as better individuals, mindful of the fact that we won't be present to defend our actions or character when others speak of us in our absence, particularly during eulogies. And in the end, we are better equipped to help people going through the same thing, because people are better comforted by others who have had a similar experience. Seeing someone just like you survive through their own loss gives you a sense of hope that maybe, just maybe, you too will be able to pull through. When you're beside a loved one who is nearing death, it's important to realize that the experience of dying is often not as painful or distressing for them as it is for you. Spend the next couple of hours with them, holding their hands. Discuss the wonderful aspects of life, reminisce about experiences you've shared, and talk about their family, pets, partners, and friends. Reflect on the value of a life well lived, right up to the final moment. Speak openly about death. While the world outside continues, the earth rotates, birds sing. It's a poignant reminder that everything, ultimately, has its end.